whoever uses that time now the best will then come out the strongest. Now is not lost.
Daniela Ryf, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks.
Where are you at the moment?
Training at home in Solothurn in Switzerland, where I'm from. I can't complain. I have most things here. I can do my training. At the moment, it's good weather, so trying to enjoy the things we can.
What is your training setup right now? Like, what can you actually do?
I was actually in Gran Canaria when the whole lockdown started in Spain. So just the day before they closed the borders, I flew home. For me, it was important to go home because I knew I had pretty much everything at home. I have my turbo, which I can do in my room, but also at the moment I do it a lot on the terrace. So I still get some sun. We're still allowed to go outside in Switzerland. So from time to time I go, on the bike or for a run in the forest, just on my own. And then, for the pool situation, the day I came home, the day after they shut the pool. So like everyone else, I was trying some things. Tried my bathtub, didn't work out very well, and then I tried to find a solution pretty quick. I did find a pool pretty close by, so I think I bought the last one in Switzerland, and it took a week, and then it was in my garden. So now I do have a pool to swim.
You actually bought a pool?
I didn't know how long it's going to take. I assumed it's going to take a while. Kona is still on my target. Yeah, I knew I can't just sit on my couch or just do nothing for 3 months if I want to, show my best in Kona. So at the moment, I do train pretty efficiently. I don't really leave the house, so I do feel I have more time even I train 3 times a day.
I've only ever seen when you build in those machines into an existing pool.
I actually had to, extend my terrace a bit. So I also had to hire a gardener to make terrace. And he was like, well, it's pretty tight. You're pretty ambitious. And I was like, yeah, that's how I am, I guess. But then he was happy he could work. And I kind of saw it as supporting the economy because, the gardeners and all them at the moment, they can still work in Switzerland. So, whatever is still not dangerous. I think it's important these people can still have jobs and keep working. And so I thought, okay, other people might now stop hiring some people, and I thought, okay, it's now the time to hire people. So he was really happy to get a new project.
It's amazing. It's like going through your website. I was reading about how it's not always about the perfect race, but like making the best of every situation. You're literally doing it.
Yeah, I in this point, I think I'm quite extreme. I do not want to depend on people. That's one thing that's in my life always been, I don't know, that's just, I like to be, taking care of myself and be responsible for what I do. And actually on the same day when they also closed the pool, I ordered a plastic pool, to put in a garden for like $250. And that arrived about a week before the other pool came. And so this was another backup plan in case the current pool wouldn't come. And when there's a situation where it's tricky, I always like to, make the best out of it and then find a solution somehow. And I think it's a lot about attitude. You can complain or you can just make the best out of it. And complaining about closed pools at the moment is definitely not the right thing because, of course, it's important to to be safe now and not take any risk on public health.
I love the attitude.
Yeah, doesn't help to put the head into the sand, I guess. It's hard for everyone, and I also like to race, and I do feel like I have thousands of thoughts about people and also event organizations and family businesses, and it is a really tough time, and it's also for the sport because there's so many jobs in the sport, like like even the guys who work at events and all this. It's a very serious and really difficult time, but in the end it's how it is at the moment, and we can't really change it at the moment. We have to make the best out of it, and I see it. That's what I try to focus on.
You are the dominating force in like women's long distance triathlon right now. You have 4 Ironman World Championship titles. You got 5 70.3 titles. On a normal day, it's incredibly hard to beat you. What do you actually work on?
I do think I still have tons of stuff to work on. I mean, the swim can always get better. I'm, just average at the swim if you compare to the best. And then of course I do think on the bike there's still so much. Sometimes I do still think I'm not really fit, and now I can just take my build up, even take it maybe a little bit slower but more consistent. So do some more long hours, or just not having to rush. Also with the bike position, just kind of get really comfortable before you start racing. I think the fitness is kind of like a limitless thing. To build in that fitness, it does take time anyway. I mean, if we build up for Kona, it doesn't really matter if we race now. It's always the long build up anyway. So when I started to see the races will be cancelled, I actually felt even more motivated. It was really weird. I don't know if it's, for me, the motivation was never really to win races or to show it at the races. It was more the process I really enjoy, enjoying the training and not having to worry each session, oh, did I just break the new hour record or whatever, and I do feel like I can enjoy it even more now, because I feel a little bit less pressure because we don't have to perform in 2 months.
You had all those amazing goals, and but it seems like you're good with it.
Well, I mean, what means good with it? Of course, I also like racing and to get out there, but I do not think it's my main motivation, to be honest. I always just enjoyed getting fitter. I think that's always been my bigger motivation than winning races. I actually wrote that book about awareness, what to actually enjoy. And there was a nice line where it says, the most important thing is to find out what fills you, like what nourishes you. And there's some things like, success and money and shallow things. They might seem to nourish you, but it doesn't really long-term make you happy. But if you nourish yourself with doing something you actually like a job that fulfills you, that's much more, sustainable. The success at the moment is not really here because we can't race, but if it's filling you up to actually just, get better and still, we can still do our job. We just can't race, but we still can train. So that's what I noticed, maybe that's why I'm not so disappointed at the moment, because it still fills me. So I can still do what I love.
So how close to peak performance do you actually try to stay now? When do you feel you'll be peak race ready?
I'm never peak race ready before September anyway. So I always build up my whole season till October. Of course, it also affected me mentally a little bit in the start when first, you kind of, you don't know what's happening, and it's a lot of news, and I was watching the news for 2 hours every, or especially reading the news a lot, and eventually you get also a bit emotional about it, and the more you read, the more you realize how big the impact will be on all the different levels, and it does affect you mentally, because you, of course, if someone who cares about other people, then it does affect you. But in the end, that's what I noticed. I had to maybe read a little bit less news, just, reduce it to maybe an hour a day.
Every time I see you, you're getting, there's more smiles. There is more celebration at the finish line. You seem to open up more and more and more throughout the years.
When I reached a certain amount of wins, I started to also realize that it's not really the wins that make you just happy. I think it's also how you celebrate it and how you enjoy it, because winning itself is not really satisfying to me. You don't have to always have the game face on to be able to be good. I'm not always very serious at all. I do have another side, and maybe I didn't show that much in the start when I came into the long distance. I do try to express myself over Instagram at the moment. That's kind of my channel, which I use, and also I guess also to support some people who are maybe struggling with motivation, or to, even if it's a really serious time at the moment, to still, you know, remind people it's okay to laugh. Or that's why I also started doing some funny videos and stuff. And I did see that people, you know, appreciated it. And it also made kind of me happy to see that I could motivate some people to be creative.